Hey everyone, welcome back to our statistics class notes. We're on page 113 and we're going to start getting into chapter 8, which is about hypothesis testing for population proportions. So chapter 7, we learn how to construct a confidence interval, which gives us a range of plausible values for a population proportion. And in chapter 8, we're going to talk about hypothesis testing. So before we do that, I just want to do a quick chapter 7 review because I forgot to do it at the end of the chapter 7.4 notes. So just really quickly, chapter 7 quick review. Number 1, asking questions that do not produce true answers results in which of the following? So this is a bad question. Bad question is measurement bias. Measurement bias is bad question. While the value of the population proportion is always the same no matter how many different samples we take, the value of the sample proportion changes from sample to sample. Right? If you do a sample of 150 and you compute a p-hat, you're probably going to get a different p-hat on doing another sample of 150, etc., etc. The precision of an estimator depends on the size of the sample taken. So remember, that comes into the formula for the standard error. Using the central limit theorem, we know that as long as those three conditions are met, right, random independent sample, large sample, and big population, then the p-hat comes from the sampling distribution of p-hat, which is normal with a mean of p, and a standard deviation of that standard error, which is p times 1 minus p divided by n. Take the square root. So if we take a larger sample size, we're dividing by a larger number there with n. A larger denominator of a fraction makes a smaller fraction, which gives us a smaller standard deviation. It means it's more precise. So the larger the sample is, the more precise our estimate is. Which of the following is not a condition to check before using the central limit theorem for sample proportions? Of course, the population size must be at least 10 times larger, not 100, than the sample size. And lastly, number 5, what effect does the confidence level have on the width of the confidence interval? So it's very important to understand that the higher the level of confidence, the wider the confidence interval. You got to grab more values in my confidence interval to have a higher confidence that you've actually captured p somewhere in that interval.